Excellencies, our colleagues from 1000 Abrahamic Circles Project, Excellencies, our speakers, Ibu Rabi Syaril Nosan, Ibu Referen Juliana Temperaja, dan Ustadzah Nur Hayati Marman, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everyone. In this occasion, we would like to introduce you to the agenda of the event. To begin, there will be a welcome remarks by Ibu Rosita Tandos, Director of Voist, then video screening of 1000 Abrahamic Circles project profile, and continued with public discussion that will be led by the moderator Ibu Audrey Rizky, which follows by Q&A session and closing. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, to start our event, I would like to invite Ibu Rosita Tandos, Director of Voist, to deliver her welcoming remarks. Please welcome.
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, I would like to welcome our beloved sisters. For here, it's not about women. This is because the topic is about women and peace. So that's why we so happy to have our four of the speakers for today. Welcome our sister Cheryl from, I just know she's from Perth. I was there for some years ago. And then also here we have Sister Juliana. Thank you for coming, Ibu. Terima kasih banyak. And then our beloved Ustadzah Ibu Nur. And of course, we are so honored and so happy to work for this program with the 10,000 Abrahamic Circle Project. Give applause to them. Here we have Mbak Audrey. Audrey, right? Yes, as the head of the project, the director. And then actually I thought that Padino Patijada will come, but he must be so busy. And this is not we just begin, right? We believe that we will come somewhere here to occupy space. So also to our BPMI, Management Board of Istiqlal, the one that we are so proud to have, General Asep Saipudin, Bapak, thank you so much. Give applause to Pak Asep, General. He is the head of social divisions, and then our program manager, Pak Budi, Dr. Budi Utomo, and then our beloved team of Voist of Istiqlal. Again, thank you so much to have this wonderful program together. And we are so happy, especially because here in Istiqlal is the right place to talk about gender, women, and peace. Give applause to Istiqlal. Let me give me like 3 minutes to explain about that. Okay. So we began the new vision of Istiqlal with our Grand Imam, Professor Dr. Kiai Haji Nasaruddin Umar, as the Grand Imam and also the head management board of Istiqlal. And Istiqlal itself has 4 main divisions, that is education, worship, that on the second floor, all about praying and ibadah. And then we have also social division, General Asep here, and then other bodies. And one of the body is Voist of Istiqlal. Voist of Istiqlal is the tag is Istiqlal for Indonesia and the world. And then we are so happy and then so blessed that U.S. Embassy bring their American space here. So thank you so much. And then the one that we are so happy for that is bring this wonderful work together, Circle 7 Sisters Journey, and then bring that the conversation that actually we bring since we just began in 2020 with the new vision of Istiqlal, that is bring together the discussions about women and religions. And then when we're very serious with the program, with the degree here, that we start with the Women Ulama program. And then some of the student is here, here. Could you stand up, all of you? So bisa berdiri, program ulama.
Yeah, here.
Okay, thank you. So they not just talk about Islam. They also study about women and religions. So I think one of them will share what they can learn from this event and what they can get from the class. So we know, and I especially believe we just begin. We will do more and more. And thank you so much, Mbak Audrey. And then we wait to come back with more work together with us. Then last but not the least, please stay tuned with Voist of Istiqlal social media. Ya, bisa dibuka HP-nya kalau bisa akses. We are followable in Instagram and Facebook. You can follow any events from us. We cooperate with My America, US Embassy. We know all about three main areas of issue: about diversity and tolerance, gender equality, and interfaith dialogue. So almost month we have even like this 1 or 2 or 3 that we hold a discussion. So please welcome. It's open every day in work days. Access all the facilities here, free, and everybody's welcome. Thank you so much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Ibu. Now it's time for video screening of 1000 Abrahamic Circles project profile. So without further ado, please enjoy the video.
This is a rabbi, an imam, and a priest sitting at the same table, having a dialogue. How many times have you seen a similar situation like this? Perhaps here, when Pope Francis kissed the feet of South Sudan's President Salva Kiir back in April. Or even here, when Pope Francis met with Dr. Ahmad Al-Tayyib, the Grand Imam of Al-Azhar. So it is not such a rare sight after all. The truth is, interfaith efforts between different religious leaders and different nations have existed for a while. Then, why did we create another one? You see, the traditional dialogue model typically involves elites and only elites. It lacks grassroots influence and direct mass effects. It also typically invites moderates who already hold pluralistic or inclusive views. In the past 2,000 years or so, with minor exceptions, there has not been a century where Abrahamic religions were at total global peace. Somewhere, somehow, 2 or all 3 of the Abrahamic faiths are usually in conflict. It is amid this unending tension and prejudice that we aim to create a harmonious and peaceful coexistence through an innovative model. 1000 Abrahamic Circles is an independent, grassroots, international, interfaith effort that aims to bring together Abrahamic faith leaders. First introduced in October 2018, 1000 Abrahamic Circles was chosen as a finalist for Best Peace Ideas to be presented at the Paris Peace Forum. Christians, Muslims, and Jews from 3 different countries and 3 different worldviews on a 3-week journey to each other's community, spending a week in each other's home. By directly observing each other's way of life and socializing with members of the community, we hope to demystify age-old stereotypes. To create measurable impact, including increasing religious literacy, empathy, and a sense of mutual respect, not just tolerance, not just among leaders, but also among their congregation and eventually everyone. We have a low-cost, easy-to-replicate interfaith model, allowing hubs to be generated in multiple regions of the world to run the program simultaneously. With this, we expect measurable cuts in anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, and anti-Christian sentiments amongst Circle alumni and their congregation. We plan to repeat each circle 100 times a year and 1,000 times in the next 10 years, creating real, measurable, on-the-ground change, and we want you to be a part of it.
Now it's time for public discussion, which follows by Q&A session. I'd like to invite Ibu Audrey as the project director of 1000 Abrahamic Circles project to lead this discussion. Please welcome Ibu.
Yes, thank you. First of all, thank you everyone for coming today, and I would like to thank Ibu Rosita and also the Voist of Istiqlal team. Thank you for approving to our request, for using this beautiful space. It's actually my first time visiting the space. I've been to Istiqlal before, but this is my first time coming to the library. So you have such a beautiful space. Thank you. So today's discussion is very special because it's actually the second day of the 7th circle of the 1000 Abrahamic Circles project. We have had 6 circles from 2019 until now, and right now we're conducting the 7th circle with the theme Women Circle Sisters Journey. So I have special guests here coming all the way from Delhi. We have Reverend Juliana. We have Rabbi Cheryl. She came all the way from Perth. She's actually American, right? You're actually American, both. And we have our lovely Ustazah Nurhayati from Jakarta. So in today's discussion, I want it to be light and humble. We're gonna talk about you, and about you. Because I know that the participants here would like to hear your experience, your hobbies, your passions. I would like to start from that first, and then I'll delve into the questions and our main discussion. So, just a brief introduction. I believe you have watched the video and understand about the project, but basically what we do is very simple. We bring together 3 Abrahamic faith leaders to live 3 weeks with each other, meet each other's family. So Rabbi Cheryl and Reverend Juliana have met Ustazah's family yesterday for the first time. And throughout the journey, they will eat together, they will share a room, they will share their meals, and they will do quite a lot of activities such as home discussions, scrapbooking maybe on the last day. And they will also visit some places together. Actually, the three circle members just had a discussion with Sheikh Ali, and we spent around 1.5 hours. I think it's more. We talk about tolerance, faiths, and share about each other's religion. It was very fruitful. We had the discussion earlier in the morning before we came here. And today we have another discussion, but it's going to be very special because we have all of you here listening to our beautiful speakers. So without any further ado, I would like to invite Rabbi Cheryl. Could you please share with us your stories about your background and your passion? And then we'll dive into the main session. And then we're going to continue with the rest.
Salam alaikum. I'm so happy to be here. I wish I spoke more Indonesian. I grew up in the United States and moved to Australia almost 20 years ago. It was curious to step into this beautiful room and see that flag from Central Michigan University. I used to live there. I grew up in a small town in the snows and the lakes of Michigan. Eventually my family moved to California. And I was also surprised to see that flag from the University of California, Irvine, where I was also pleased to study psychology many years ago, with an emphasis on cognitive development. My parents raised me and my 3 brothers to welcome everybody to our home, every background, every expression, and to love what was a particular light for us, Judaism. And that is something that continued for all my life, and I always felt I just want to know more. And I believed eventually that as a rabbi, I would be able to continue to learn from my life, learn from others, share with one another, and please God, seek light and work for good together. when I am not so amazingly privileged to be with such remarkable people. I do things like teach math to put bread on the table and spend time with my son and daughter and our extraordinarily cute dog. I enjoy yoga and reading, camp and indoor rock climbing, and chocolate. Everything the important things.
Yes, thank you, Rabbi Wèile.
Terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Saya berterima kasih kepada tim Thousand Arabic yang sudah memfasilitasi program ini. Saya bisa hadir di sini. Ini pertama kali saya datang di Istiqlal ini, dan saya sangat senang. Tadi saya datang, saya rasa aduh, tapi saya disambut dengan baik, dengan hangat secara kekeluargaan. Saya sangat berterima kasih untuk kesempatan ini. Saya pendeta, sebagai pendeta sejak 2001. Saya melayani di gereja Protestan Timor Leste. Kita tahu bahwa di Timor Leste gereja Protestan kedua, gereja Katolik mayoritas. Hubungan kerjasama kami di sana cukup baik antar umat beragama, dan sebagai leader, saya adalah sebagai leader yang pertama dalam gereja kami sebagai sekretaris umum Sinode Gereja Protestan Timor Leste, The Protestant Church in East Timor. Saya juga sangat bersyukur sebagai leader bisa bertemu dengan banyak sahabat, banyak saudara dari berbagai perbedaan agama. Itu membuat membangun pemahaman bahwa kita berbeda, tetapi itu adalah keunikan, tapi kita adalah satu. Saya berkeluarga, suami saya sudah meninggal sejak 11 tahun yang lalu, dan saya berkecimpung dalam dunia pelayanan sejak 2001 sampai dengan sekarang ini, aktif dalam membangun hubungan ekumene. Denominasi gereja kami sangat menghargai toleransi dan kebersamaan sebagai umat Allah. Kalau keyakinan itu masalah doktrin, tetapi sebagai sesama manusia itu ini menjadi fokus kami, bagaimana membangun hubungan. Saya senang punya sahabat banyak, dan kemana-mana saya selalu punya buku, dan saya punya koleksi tulisan untuk mengingat semua pesan sahabat dari berbagai agama juga, dan juga berbagai status sosial. Saya mengkoleksi ada 68 negara. Dan saya bersyukur hari ini juga di Istiqlal ini sudah ada yang mengisi, Bu Dokter Rosita sudah mengisi. Terima kasih. Hobi saya adalah koleksi tulisan, tetapi juga koleksi pesan-pesan tentang perdamaian, pesan-pesan tentang sesuatu yang baik untuk membangun kebersamaan. Itu sebagai satu kebiasaan yang saya mulai dari diri saya. Hubungan tentang membangun antara umat beragama saya dibentuk sejak dari kecil.
Saya diangkat, dan saya besar sebenarnya di Indonesia. Saya cukup sedikit mengetahui tentang bagaimana membangun toleransi. Itu saya punya pengalaman sejak kecil. Dan kalau hal-hal untuk percakapan bagaimana menghargai keberbedaan sedikit secara personal, ada pengalaman, dan ini sangat mendorong bagaimana saya menyampaikan kepada komunitas saya. Mungkin untuk sebagian ini dulu, ya barangkali nanti kalau ada hal-hal lain itu perlu, tetapi yang utama adalah saya senang dengan pertemuan ini. Terima kasih.
Terima kasih Pendeta Juliana.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Please allow me myself. Thank you for Ibu Rosita for the place, amazing place. I'm so honored to be here. Also, thank you for Mr. Audrey and the team who doing this 1000 Abraham project. It's very amazing, and I'm so appreciate for your effort and doing big work for the peace of the world. So, my name is Nurayati, and I study in boarding school of Darmajah, Ulu Jami, Jakarta Selatan. And after that, I continue to University of Indonesia. I study business administration, and that's another education. But the most important things why I learned so much about the Muslims. So since I was a kid, of course, we always study double. Not double degree, but we study SD public school, and then in the afternoon we study diniyah. Yeah, jadi we study two school, right? When we are kids. Usually that's a long time ago. So we always study until for ordinary school, and then after that the Islamic school. And after that I never stopped to study about Islam. Unfortunately, when I was studying, since I was high school until the university, it's a little bit different path. I mean, not different path, it's a little bit radical Muslim. And that's what made me disappointed. Why? Because I said, why? I'm studying so long time, every day almost we have gathering with the small community where I'm studying every day, almost every day. 1 week, at least 5 days, and it's so long time. From Depok to Cempaka Putih, Depok, Cempaka Putih is so long time trip to study about the Muslim. And in the end, when I was finished university and I had to work, and I found out finally the meaning. They have the purpose. The purpose is to make. The purpose is different what I want to have, especially the peace, because they want to change the Indonesia become a Muslim country, and I'm not agree for that. So that's why I love this journey, because I want to. My message is I want to study the real Islam, because we want to bring peace in the world. Thank you.
Thank you, Ustaza, and wow, it's very inspiring. I think we should give a small applause first, because we'll have more later on. So, the three of you, you have amazing backgrounds, and I can see that your passion lies, and it's aligned with our project, and that's the reason why three of you are here right now, and we're so grateful, my team and I. We remember the first phone call from Rabbi Cheryl. She read our invitation letter, and also from Reverend Julian and also Ustaza Nurhayati regarding the program. And now that we are here, I was actually going to tear up yesterday when I saw you landed. And yeah, I think the voice of women is really important in many phases of life, and one of them is peace. to achieve interfaith peace. We understand that, and we can see that a lot of religious leaders, they're mostly men, and it's always been familiar that we see an imam, an ustad, a male reverend, and also a male rabbi. But even one of my friends, she was quite shocked when I said that there's actually a female rabbi in this world. So she thought a rabbi is only a male. So we need more recognition of that. We need to be seen by people. Not because we want to show off, but it's because we need to contribute to the community and we have the power to do that. Do you agree with me?
I think you maybe set me up for that. Of course, I agree 100%. There are those who say, if you can't see it, you can't be it. I disagree. We can imagine what we want to see, but it is easier when we can also see it. I didn't plan to tell you the story, and I hope you don't mind. It's not a normal story for a rabbi to say. But the first female rabbi who was ever ordained was named Regina Jonas, and she was ordained in Berlin, Germany in 1935, and she was murdered in Auschwitz in 1940. May her memory bring blessing. The next woman who was ordained in the world was named Sally Priesand, a woman who I am so privileged to know. She was ordained in 1972 when I was in 2nd grade. She was the first one, essentially, in the world, at least to survive. When Rabbi Priesand went to rabbinic school, only men went there. I am so pleased to be in this room with young women studying, men also, but especially you young, brave women, doing something perhaps you have not seen before. I was ordained in the first 200 women in the world. I was lucky, I was blessed. But those rabbis who studied before me went to a school that had no ladies' bathroom, no toilets for the ladies. No one expected women would study. But we always have studied, and we've learned and we've taught, and now we even have toilets. We can imagine what the world can be when everyone has toilets and clean water, a place to live, security, comfort, hope, friendship, questions, but not anger and hatred. We can imagine that. It can make our world better.
Well, I was expecting I agree. But thank you for the stories that you shared and also your insights. But I'll be switching to Bahasa as well because we would like to ask Reverend Juliana here. Menurut Reverend Juliana, kira-kira apa saja tantangan-tantangan yang dihadapi oleh wanita ketika mereka mencoba untuk menyusun karirnya? Mungkin di case ini sebagai pemuka agama. Selain menjadi pemuka agama, wanita kan juga seorang ibu, seorang anak, seorang kakak, seorang adik, dan perannya cukup banyak dalam kehidupan, gitu. Baik di rumah ataupun di kantor, seperti Reverend Julia sendiri pasti sangat sibuk. Dan apa nih kira-kira tantangannya untuk wanita-wanita ini mencapai cita-citanya dan juga berkontribusi dalam pencapaian perdamaian? Gitu. Limitasinya apa saja kira-kira, Reverend?
Terima kasih. Saya mau katakan bahwa setiap orang punya kesempatan. Dan kesempatan itu datangnya hanya satu kali. Jika perempuan diberi kesempatan, kenyataan yang ada, orang sering menolak atau reject. I can't do that. Okay, he's able more than me. Kita sering membandingkan diri kita dengan orang lain, dan we not confident ourselves. Kita tidak percaya dengan diri kita, sehingga kita tidak pernah maju. Sebagai mimpi saya adalah orang yang pertama sebagai pimpinan di gereja, dan satu keuntungan juga sebagai ordained pastor, ditabiskan sebagai pendeta. Saya diberi tanggung jawab yang cukup berat, karena orang melihat kalau seorang pemimpin itu dia serba tahu. Behind of that, they don't know what is our struggle. Tapi yang mereka tahu bahwa udah serba tahu. Karena itu kita juga di sisi lain memang kita punya ekstra mempersiapkan diri kita. Dan dari segi pendidikan, kita juga harus mengikuti perkembangan yang ada. Itu menjadi satu tantangan yang kita harus berjuang ekstra. Kadang yang menjadi masalah, kita kurang mempercayai diri kita sendiri bahwa kita itu boleh, kita itu mampu. Sering kita membandingkan diri kita dengan orang lain, sehingga kita tidak pernah bisa mencapai seperti yang goal yang dicapai sebagai seorang pemimpin. Tapi satu hal yang mendorong kita, we just do our best even though our best not enough. Nah, kita melakukan sesuatu yang kita bisa lakukan selama kita masih bisa. Jangan menunggu ya kesempatan itu sampai berakhir kita tidak bisa buat apa-apa. Ini sebagai satu motif yang mendorong saya. Saya tidak gampang berada di tengah banyak laki-laki. Sebagai sekretaris, banyak keputusan-keputusan itu sering dominasinya laki-laki, pengambilan keputusan. Tetapi juga kita untuk melihat, kita harus netral, kita melihat untuk kepentingan banyak orang. Sacrifice penting, pengorbanan penting. Kita harus bukan bilang tabrak tembok, tapi kita harus betul untuk berjuang untuk mencapai apa yang menjadi target untuk kepentingan banyak orang. Jadi sebagai perempuan, satu hal yang kita bangga dalam diri kita bahwa kita lebih banyak memikirkan banyak orang daripada mementingkan diri kita sendiri. Kita sering misalnya dibully, ejek, dianggap tidak mampu, dan seterusnya. Tetapi kita tetap terus bangga bahwa kita bisa melakukan apa yang kita bisa lakukan. Studi saya, waktu di Inggris saya fokus untuk ekumenikal dan sosial transformasi. Bagaimana mengubah mindset orang juga dalam masyarakat dengan perbedaan yang ada, dan bagaimana kita menolong orang untuk dia bisa progres baik dalam jenjang kerjanya maupun motivasi orang untuk dia bisa mandiri. How we can help the people to develop themselves. This is in social transformation point of view. Jadi untuk menjadi leader, seorang perempuan sebagai leader sebenarnya tidak mudah, karena kultur juga mengajar bahwa perempuan itu cukup di dapur saja, cukup urus suami, urus anak. Tapi behind all that, kita sebenarnya masih banyak diberikan banyak kepercayaan, untuk mengurus juga kepentingan orang banyak. Dan ini yang kita harus bangga. Kita tidak perlu kecewa dengan masalah-masalah yang kita hadapi. Dan pengalaman dan tantangan yang saya hadapi bahwa tidak gampang sebagai seorang pemimpin perempuan untuk mengambil keputusan, tapi harus berani menghadapi tantangan. Itu yang pertama. Dan kita memulainya dalam keluarga kita. Awalnya itu sebagai ibu, sebagai kakak, sebagai istri, mulai dari dalam rumah, kemudian dalam institusi, kelompok kecil, kemudian dalam institusi yang lebih besar, organisasi. Dan itu yang mendorong, memotivasi saya sampai saat ini. Dan melalui kesempatan 1000 Abrahamic ini justru lebih menginspirasi saya lagi. Bagaimana saya harus berada dalam perbedaan ini, hal-hal yang paling kecil. Kita dari berbeda keyakinan, kemudian berbeda kultur, bahasa. Bagaimana mau sharing ini? Membutuhkan juga kesabaran, membutuhkan juga persiapan. Ya, saya sangat exciting waktu dihubungi bahwa akan datang saudara Ustaz dan Rabai akan datang dan tinggal di rumah. Saya sangat shock waktu itu. Bagaimana dan seterusnya, masalah mengatur menu, masalah komunikasinya bagaimana, dan hal-hal juga dan itu sesuatu yang baru bagi saya, dan saya sangat tertantang dengan ini. Tetapi by the way, saya sangat bersyukur bisa, dan hari ini saya bisa juga belajar dari Syekh dan menginspirasi saya bagaimana untuk memahami keberbedaan yang ada dan bagaimana kita membangun peace. Peace dalam konsep Christianity, Yesus selalu mengatakan bahwa berbahagialah orang yang membawa damai. Happiness for the people who bring peace. Peace not come from outside. Peace come inside our heart. Jadi peace itu harus murni, bukan dibuat-buat. Dan kami belajar, Timor Leste sudah mulai belajar sejak dari 99, dan kami membangun itu. Dan tahun 2000 juga gereja kami juga menandatangani Fraternity Tutti. Tadi sudah ditunjukkan tadi dalam layar bahwa bagaimana membangun persaudaraan dan kebersamaan, menghargai keberbedaan sebagai keluarga Allah, umat Tuhan. Itu yang menjadi menjadi goal. Tapi tantangan ada. Kita tidak boleh menyerah dengan tantangan yang ada. Ya, selama kita masih hidup pasti konflik ada, tantangan ada, tetapi we need to ready to move on, to do our best what we can do. Mungkin itu dulu sementara.
Wow, terima kasih Reverend Juliana, dan mungkin saya akan translate sedikit untuk Rabbi Sheryl. So basically I was asking Reverend Juliana the limitations and the challenges that women are facing right now, especially as one of the religious leaders in her country, and she said that one of the limitations and the challenges, one of them is actually coming from her own heart, and it needs courage to push through, and it's not easy for her, especially to make her decisions and also to complete all of her tasks and live on with life. So sometimes the challenges are not coming from outside, but actually from herself. But right now, she is trying to push through everything. And she said that we need to have it from our heart. Everything should come from our heart. It should not come from anyone or anything. So it really gives me an insight when I listen to her stories, and that's what she said. So thank you, Pendeta Juliana. Dan saya setuju bahwasanya kadang-kadang limitasi itu memang datang dari diri kita. Kita merasa tidak confident, kita merasa oh nanti bakal orang bilang apa ya begitu. Karena mungkin di dunia kita yang majority itu adalah laki-laki begitu. Jadi kita belum apa-apa udah takut. So we just have to be confident. That's the recipe. So sekarang kita akan move on. We're gonna move on to Ustazah. The same question. I would love to hear your thoughts about the challenges and limitations that you're facing.
Okay. Firstly, I'm sorry, I forget. I want to say the regard from my guru, Syekh Syarasadi Hadrawi, and Hadi Price, which I am in Hasil Mutahir. Okay, the first challenge that for this project especially is about how to make the community or people around us accept the other religions, especially the Jewish, especially because of maybe they never have interaction with other religions, especially the Jewish. And also I have to make sure that people around me is like accepted by their heart. And so Rabbi especially doesn't have a problem to be stay in my place. That's a problem. Okay? And then the other challenge is especially when I have discussion with the mostly ustads in Nahdlatul Ulama. Usually we have a discussion, but mostly it's because they are men, and I'm the only one who's sitting there. And sometimes they say that, can you move to another room, because it seems like this is the room only for the men. I said, why? For me, so it's like because I'm a long time living in the United States, and also in Europe, make me realize that there is, I want to study more. I want to study about the Islam and everything. So that's why I want to sitting there in that table, because I want to know more. But seems like that's not my place. So sometimes they asking permission, like, can you move to another place? So many times, like 5 times, and I just like ignore. So I just like, hello. I want to study too, and I want to listen, but people very judgment, prejudice a lot as a woman, I think we are not belongs of that community. We are not belongs of the for the men, and sometimes, to be honest, I also sometimes when the challenges, I also sometimes when there is the big event, or there is a big sheikh coming from around the world, and only men can see and hug and give the respect, and I want to be there, but as a woman we have to also respect, and we cannot be in the first line, But because I in university, in Stockholm University, also there, and I get used always in the front sitting, and I don't have a problem with that. So it seems like for people here, it's like a little bit weird. Like, what this woman wanted, they always things like a bad, like hello, why this woman? It's like they really, I can see that, even they think I'm a spice, I'm from another country who wants to listen therefore and want to report the bad things about them. I said, oh my God, this is really sad. It's really sad, because I don't even want to do bad things about my country or something like that. Instead, I want to bring peace, and I want to introduce the Islam around the world. So that's what I'm doing when I challenge myself around to Europe. I'm traveling myself for 6 months to introduce Islam by myself. I meet a lot of priests, and I meet the Jewish people, and they, so far, they accept me very well. So that's why when I'm coming back sometimes to Indonesia, I'm very sad sometimes, but because that the stigma, like a woman cannot be in the same area with the man, Yeah. But when we are alive, of course there is a problem. If there is no problem, we are already living in paradise. We don't want paradise, right? So that's why Allah created us a problem. So we want heaven, we want paradise. If there is everything peace, everything calm, everything satisfied, we don't want surga, we don't want paradise, and we just here and do nothing, right? So that's why. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ustazah. Well, actually, I agree with you, and I know that you travel a lot to the US and also Europe, and you felt differently when you came back here. Maybe, for example, in a public setting, you would like to sit in the front row, but you can only have that when you were traveling back in the US or Europe. Here, you're just like, okay, I'm gonna sit in the 3rd row or 4th row because people will see me like, oh, this ambitious woman, and yeah, I can see why you're upset regarding how people actually react when we women is trying to step ahead or move forward. They get used to see men as the dominant one, but we as women, we also have that power to be dominant. And one of the examples is actually right now, you're sitting in the front row, very front row. Finally, you're here. And I experienced the same thing. Not as much as what you experienced, but I can understand. So I'll come back to Rabbi Cheryl. Can you share with us your life experience, maybe just one, where you felt you're not being accepted in the community? Maybe in specific with men during your high school years maybe, or even during your time as a rabbi. Your choice.
Again, thank you all so much. I'm reminded of a teaching that says we have to speak the truth even if our knees shake. And I think that's especially important for us as women. And again, the young people here who are studying, yes, being courageous is doing what you're afraid to do. It's not the absence of the fear, it's doing it anyhow, even if your knees shake. Unexpectedly, the image that comes to mind to respond to your question about not being treated like the boys, other than not having a toilet, is that I grew up with my parents and my 3 brothers, 2 older and 1 younger. There were no female rabbis when I was a small child, at all. Now, because I had 3 brothers in central Michigan, whatever my brothers would do, my parents thought I could do also. They got their bicycles, I got a bicycle to ride. They would run in a race, I would run in a race. My father taught my brothers to shoot bow and arrow, so he taught me to shoot bow and arrow. They skied, I skied. They played ice hockey. I never got to have pretty white figure skates, ice skates, like the pretty girls twirl in. I got old hand-me-down hockey skates. But it was okay. Until the time came that we were in our small synagogue, Temple Benjamin in Mount Pleasant, Michigan, where Central Michigan University is. And once a year, we read our whole Torah, the 5 books of Moses. And when we complete the reading, that same night, we start again. So there's no end and no beginning. Continuously we read, continuously we read. All over the world, Jews everywhere start to read on the same night. When we do that, we don't just read. We read and we sing and we dance, and it's wonderful. We eat and we joke. It's a big celebration. I don't know if you have a big Quran celebration. We have a big Torah celebration. And when we dance, we have our Torah scrolls. The Torah is written in big, beautiful scrolls. And the rabbi or the person leading the services, at that time always men, have the scroll and they pass it to another man. And then the second man takes the scroll and he dances with the Torah and he spins, and it's beautiful. So my father gave the Torah to my oldest brother, and he gave it then to another. And then the other man gave the Torah to my middle brother, and he danced and he spun. And then he gave it to another man. And then the other man gave the Torah to my little brother. My little brother is only, what, 7? And he danced and he spun. But no one gave the Torah to me. I was maybe 12. My parents wanted me to have a bat mitzvah, to read from the Torah. But it didn't occur to them that I should be able to hold it and dance with it. But things have changed a little since then. And now, as you will see when you come to my home, and you are welcome to my home in Perth, so now I have a Torah, and I can pass it to other women, and we can dance together.
So well, now you have a Torah, and sing along and dance along with it, with your family. We're happy for you, Rabbi Cheryl. Thank you for your stories, and also you experienced it quite young, at 12. I thought you were going to say something during high school or college years.
I think most of us start to experience differences when we're quite young.
Yes.
But I will say that until this time, when I go to the synagogue in Perth where I pray, right? So I do activities in the community where I teach, but the place I pray is an Orthodox synagogue. I am not Orthodox. When I go to the Orthodox synagogue, which I love, I cannot touch the Torah. I can touch it, but I can't read it. I can't usually be on the place to give the sermons. I can't usually do the teaching because I am a female. And in that part of Judaism, well, we don't have women imam yet, do we? In Orthodoxy, we don't let women do the same to this day.
Well, that's some new knowledge for everyone here. Thank you. So, we're almost out of time, so I want to make this discussion to be memorable for everyone. So before we jump into the Q&A session, I would like to invite each and every of the circle member here to give your best quotes or a beautiful message for the people here, because maybe one of them or two of them would like to be a religious leader. We'll never know. So I would like to invite Reverend Juliana, if you have any sweet messages for our participants today, a motivation will do, anything that you would like to share, because I believe in that book you have a lot from people, a lot of nice, sweet messages. Now I want you to share yours to the others, and then we can move on from you to Rabbi Cheryl and also Ustaza. And since we have discussed about the challenges, we have discussed about the limitations, we have heard your stories, your amazing stories, now it's time for us to give back to our community. So please, you can share your motivation to everyone.
Yes, thank you. My message is, even though we are different, different religion, different country, different culture, but we are one as a human being. We are God created. So, in all of human being is God image. So, as a God image, what we should do? Love one another. We should love. Love not limited because the family or because their typic blood, but biology, but as people of God, different color, different faith, we need to love each other. Love each other, we can create peace. Peace comes through love. So, my message is love not come from outside, but from inside each of us. And peace should be have in mind all of people. What we should do about the peace. Peace not just only talk, but peace should be in action. Action, many kinds to do, working together and dancing together, but more is understanding each other, accepting differences, diversity. This is our goal, and we can make peace. And calling for women always bring peace. Sorry for my brother here, but this is when we are talking about the women and peace. Yeah, in our family, we try our best to do peace, even though really hard, and we facing many trouble to struggle making peace in our family. And in society, if we already do in our family, in society we can do. So, as a human being, we love one another through heart, and we can create peace. And thank you for Seven Circle, sister journey. So we blessing each other, and also all of audience today. Our gathering here not just only immediately because for the program for 1,000 Abrahamic, but we'll be going. And thank you for Islamic, for Istiqlal already have a program prepared for the ulama, women. This is the first step, and then will be bring us to bring peace for the world is the topic. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Reverend Juliana. Rabbi Cheryl, please share with us your best message. You've been here for 2 days, but I believe you've experienced a lot since you said it's not easy to make a rabbi speechless, but you were speechless twice yesterday, so.
It's dangerous when you make me laugh. I think I've been here now almost 24 hours. And yet I feel like I've had a lifetime of learning and love. I cannot tell you how, there you did it again. I can't tell you I'm speechless. My children would be so happy about that. Thank you for being here. It takes courage for you to be with us also. I would like to teach you 2 Hebrew words. These Hebrew words are found at the beginning of the book of Genesis in the Hebrew scriptures we share, and perhaps later someone will tell me if also we can find them in the Quran. But the 2 words are the words from the sentence that says that when the Holy One, the Creator, created the human beings, day 6 of creation, God breathed the breath of life into the first person, the nefesh, the neshama. We breathe. The molecules of air that you breathe, maybe they were breathed by my great-grandmother. Or perhaps yours were breathed by your great-great-great-uncle. Abraham, the prophet himself. Who knows? We share the breath of life. In the Hebrew, we are reminded that the Holy One gives the breath of life to humanity. We are told in the Bible, in Genesis 2, that God makes humanity, here are our Hebrew words, B'Tselem Elohim. It means in the image, in the likeness of Allah, of the Holy One. We say Elohim, we say Allah. B'Tselem Elohim. Try. B'Tselem Elohim. The Bible says we are all made. Humanity is made B'Tselem Elohim. It doesn't say only the short people or only the tall people. No, all of us are God's image. It doesn't say only the women, but not the men. No, we are all B'Tselem Elohim. It doesn't say only the Indonesians, but not the Australians. No, we are all made B'Tselem Elohim. Now, I will confess, there's some differences between men and women, and some of us women are so blessed that we can carry B'Tselem Elohim within us, and we often carry B'Tselem Elohim beside us, and then for years and years we try to grow those little B'Tselem Elohims into decent people, but still we are all partners with God. We are all made B'Tselem Elohim, and we all share the task of learning to see the sparks of holiness in one another, in the others that look more like us, but even more in the ones who look so different. We are all made, how? B'Tselem Elohim.
That's true. Thank you so much. Moving on to Ustazah.
Maybe I have 1,000 quotes that I got from the internet. Which one you like? This part. Okay, my quote is probably find the light, the real light, find the real happiness. And to find the real happiness is only when you find the light. The light means that you need time, you really need to figure out how to meet the real guru. The real guru will be your light. Then you will find truly pure happiness. And because I have this experience, I'm busy before to fulfill all I think is the dream of the people here. Successfully, everything. You have it, you name it, you know, but then I realized it's not what I'm looking for, you know, until the end, when you're already in the top, you feel like, what for? What this for? The big house, for example, what for? The fancy car, the fancy bag, everything is really feel useless, you know. And then I realized that, you know, I think it's when I was 20 years old, and then I feel, or this is not what I'm looking for. So find your call, what Allah call you for, why you come here in this world, what your calling. So find your call. Some people maybe as a doctor, serve people. So give the best service to everybody. Do good deed everywhere, anywhere. Then it will be returned back to you. Assalamualaikum.
Let's give a round of applause to the three of our circle members. It's an honor for me to be here with the three of you, lovely ladies, beautiful ladies, and I get to learn a lot since yesterday, at least since yesterday, also from our briefing calls before. And I'll be with you for 3 weeks, and I'm so excited to learn more. So I think now I would like to give the chance for our participants to ask questions. Since we have 3 speakers, so that means 3 questions from the audience.
Okay, may I share?
Yes, sure, Pak.
Thank you. Okay, thank you very much, Excellency Rabbi Sharination, Dr. Juliana, writer, and Ustazah Nur Hayatin Muhammad, and Audit Christy. And of course, my colleagues, Dr. Rosida and Dr. Gugun, and this is my colleague, Dr. Budi. I'm not doctor. Talking about men and women, yes, is because this is a very interesting topic. For example, in my room, I have 3 daughters, only 3 daughters. So we have to give my 3 daughters knowledge, skill to preach with men, inclusive with their husband. Because we all know that sometimes the man as a husband not responsibility to his wife. And this is reality. As I'm as head of social affairs and empowerment of people, I know it, and a lot of it. That's actually in Indonesia, 30% for women to be assembly representative. But until now, it's difficult. It is very difficult. Actually, there are a lot of women, professor, doctor, and very, very confident like Miss Dr. Rosita. Okay, yes. But it's difficult. I agree with you. That is why we Istiqlal hold the educational woman for ulama, for preparing ulama for the next. I think this very difficult. So that is why I agree with you. But the last for me, I agree with Mr. Rabbi, Miss Excellency Rabbi said that salam or salam for all, not for men, not for women, but for all. I went to Australia, salam the same. I went to United States, salam the same. I went to Arabic, salam the same. So that is why in Islam just only assalamu alaikum. Whom it for all, men and women. Thank you.
Thank you, Pak. Thank you, Pak Asad, for sharing. And do you want to respond to Pak Asad?
Yes.
Thank you. You lift my heart. You renew my hope.
Thank you.
Thank you. So I would like to invite the participants to ask. Okay, I see hands here, there, and there. Okay, so.
Thank you, good afternoon. Thank you for the time that's given to me. My name is Ceci, I'm from Turkey. I'm also a PCI fellow. I have a question for Ustazah. Ustazah, you share your story when you were a student. You encountered several teachings about Islam, and you thought that it was not quite right. So my question is, what made you think that way? What made you think that it shouldn't be this way, it should be another way? Maybe it could be an advice for other people, especially those that maybe come from family or surrounded by people who have such radical idea. What can they do to think outside the box, think outside of that, and see that, you know, we're a pluralistic country and we're beautiful that way? And also, Rabbi, I really love Bashalah Elohim, and I think for me that's a two-edged sword, right? Like at the same time we're created like that, but at the same time we are the image that people want to see our God is like, right? If we want people to see that our God is kind, then we should be kind. I really love that. Thank you.
Can I? Thank you for the question from the new. Yes, yeah. What's your age number? What's your age now?
Me?
Yeah. My son 25. Yeah. No, I'm just joking. So, okay. What makes me different perspective from long, like 15 years, I believe, at 15 years, they brain drain of me, and like really make me feel like, oh, this is the real Islam. You know, the Islam should be jihad. Islam should be demonstration and complain with the government, blah, blah, blah. And I do demonstration almost every time they're asking. I'm the one who always, okay, demonstration, why not the time? I'm the one who in the front. They give me that. But in the end, I realized that I feel it's not true in my heart, you know, because why? Because Islam, because it seems like too much, you know, too much. Even like, oh, I cannot, for example, I cannot wear the pants, you know, and sometimes I use the skirt and I got fall down because I always want to fall down with the skirt. So I was like, is it only difficult for me? This is for my experience myself. This is because I feel like, why cannot I use the pants? You know, that's the simple things in that time, because I fell down from the train that time. So I feel like, and it's not, maybe I don't think so, it's right. And then after that, they asking me to follow the one of the party and with the blood, you know, so with the blood promise. So, and in that time I said, well, wait, I don't want to make a promise with the blood to loyal for the party. Because why? Because I'm looking for the real Islam. I want to learn Muslim, I want to learn Islam. I don't want to be part of the party, because that's not my, you know, my heart wanted, you know, because I want something, and I know deep in my heart, I want something more meaningful than the part of the party or something like that. So that's the things that, because I can see, and once it also when my kids, I'm surrounding with the kids where study with all is long hijab and everything is very. They're almost the similar mindset, yeah, the similar mindset to change the Indonesia to become Sharia Muslim country. And I found out they didn't teach my son properly because they are not equal, you know what I mean? Like they teach only for the image. Everything is about the image, not the happiness of the kids. So in that time, it's like a big moment of me, like, what? Why I know you are studying a lot of Islam, but why you don't have a heart, you know? So I find the heart is so hard, like a stone, you know, and there's the moment like, I feel like so heartbreaking because people around me is like a stone, the heart, and it's like, no, I don't want to be like that. You know, I'm really until I grab the skirt, you know, the jilbab, I said, I don't want to be like you. You know, I don't want like you, because that's why I feel like why you put everything long thing, you know, like covering everything, but your heart is like a stone, and I don't want that. So that's the breaking point. Like I want something make me peace inside, and I want to feel like bring me a happiness inside, and I don't want to be like that person. That's the first beginning. Maybe help is answer my question. Then thank you.
Okay, moving on to the next one. Yes, please.
Thank you. Should I stand up or or can I just like ask from here? Sorry. Okay. Good afternoon. My name is Isyana. I'm actually a lecturer of international relations from President University. I'm a Muslim, but I have a lot of interest in Judaism. So I actually have a question for Rabbi Cheryl. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot your last name. But yeah, so I've learned that in Judaism, a woman's responsibility is to make sure that her children are Jewish, and then also her grandchildren are also Jewish. But then again, what exactly are the men's responsibility? Yeah, what exactly are the men's responsibilities? And also, I see that there's a lot of emphasis on women in Judaism. Let's say, for example, like in the Shabbat prayer, the women are the ones who say the Shabbat prayer, like doing this. I cannot, you know, like recite the prayers, of course, because I'm a Muslim. But yeah, then what about the emphasis on men? Thank you very much. That's all my question.
Thank you very much, and these are fantastic questions.
Thank you.
One of the first questions actually relates to a bigger Jewish question. They say that Jews answer questions with questions. Do you agree? Anyway, let me say I lived in Australia for 5 years before I was an Australian citizen. I could live in Australia, but I could not vote. I could do many things, but I was not a citizen. I felt Australian, but the government said, no, this is the line. You're not Australian until you do A, B, C. Now, in Christianity, and perhaps, I don't know, you'll have to tell me, in Islam, there is a definition. This is what a Christian is this. If you don't do this, you are not a Christian. You're a good person, you're not a Christian. In Judaism, there are some things that if you fit in this category, Judaism says you're Jewish. If you don't, Judaism says you're close by, you're a resident, but you're not a citizen. Thousands of years ago, probably primarily during the time of the Romans taking over the Holy Land, when there was much murder and violence and rape, and the people said, how shall we know who is Jewish and who is not Jewish? The people quickly figured out, it's hard to tell who the father is. It's easier to know who the mother is. When a woman had a baby, if the woman was Jewish, the baby was Jewish. That's it. It is simple biology. That has been the case for about 2,000 years. It's only for 40 years, my Judaism, which is not orthodox, but it's progressive, says if mother or father or both are Jewish, and the baby is raised just in the Jewish ways, publicly raised in Jewish ways, then the child is Jewish. So, in terms of mother, grandmother, child, the answer goes very far back into our complicated history. In terms of men's roles and women's roles, I think that I can say honestly, that there's some things in Judaism I don't like. It's not always even-handed. It's not as beautiful as maybe I would like it, but it's pretty good, and it's mine. And I try to take the part that's the most beautiful and emphasize the beautiful parts. I wear pants sometimes. I even show my clavicles. Orthodox women don't. We would be covered to here if I was Orthodox. Okay, so what? In Judaism, there are some rules that are exclusively for women, and some that are exclusively for men, traditionally. Like so many cultures, the woman is especially responsible if she becomes a mother to take care of the children, and also the sisters, and also the mothers and the generation of the elders. Most of our societies are like that for a myriad of reasons that we know. But the home is the center. Men have obligations to study, to learn, to act on what they know, to contribute to the community, to follow many of Islam's 5 pillars, to give charity, to pray, to learn, to go to the right places. It's the woman who makes that all possible. Women are excused from what are called positive, time-bound commitments. So if you need to, we pray 3 times a day, not 5. But if you have to pray at a specific time, and your baby is crying, or your grandmother needs food, baby and grandmother come first. So the women have more flexibility. The men are expected to take care of what is necessary to make a home, a family, a community good and functional. Have any of you seen the movie My Big Fat Greek Wedding?
I have.
Yes! So you know this line. In this very funny, kind of silly movie, the mother in the Big Fat Greek Wedding says, in a Greek accent, "The man is the head of the family, but the woman is the neck."
Thank you, Rabbi Cheryl. Last question, please, for Reverend Juliana. Okay, the men. I'll take yours after.
Oke, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Mungkin sama kayak bahasa Indonesia saja, takut keluar Inggris baru.
Iya,
Oke, begini, yang terhormat Rabbi, Pendeta dan Ustaz, Dewan Dosen. Mungkin saya langsung atau gini dulu. Saya percaya bahwa agama, semua agama, utamanya agama Abrahamik, itu adalah agama yang membawa kedamaian. Karena kalau tidak membawa kedamaian tentu bukan agama. Maka semua yang membawa kekerasan atas nama agama, mereka bukanlah orang yang beragama seperti itu. Nah, sayangnya narasi tentang bahwa agama kita, baik Yahudi, Nasrani, dan Islam, itu adalah agama kedamaian, itu seringkali tidak sampai ke masyarakat yang cenderung radikal pemahamannya. Misalnya mungkin yang sampai ke mereka bahwa dulu pada masa Abu Bakar, Umar, Utsman itu ada penaklukan ke daerah Romawi, daerah Persia. Itu kan bukan karena, kalau ya dalam sejarah yang sepengetahuan saya, itu bukan karena agamanya berbeda, tapi karena memang penguasanya dari dolim. Jadi kedolimannya yang diperangi. Nah, narasi lain misalnya ada beberapa teks dalam Al-Quran atau dalam hadis dalam Islam itu yang disalahpahami, entah karena salah memahami teksnya atau tidak paham konteksnya. Sebagai contoh misal tadi juga disebutkan tentang kepemimpinan perempuan, bahwa dalam hadisnya kan disebutkan la yufiha qaumun wallau amrahum imra'atan, bahwa sebuah kaum itu tidak akan bisa sukses kalau dipimpin oleh perempuan. Itu adalah teks hadisnya seperti itu, tapi kemudian dipraktekkan sebagaimana teksnya, tapi tidak dipahami konteksnya, sehingga perempuan benar-benar tidak bisa memimpin karena teks yang salah dipahami tersebut. Padahal di Al-Quran tidak demikian, artinya sama antara muslimin dan muslimat, muslimul mu'minin wal mu'minat, semua setara antara laki-laki dan perempuan. Yang ingin saya tanyakan adalah karena mungkin kalau dalam teks Islam saya mungkin bisa memahami walaupun tidak secara mendalam, tapi paling tidak tahu. Mungkin saya ingin minta insight dari Injil ataupun Taurat, terkait apakah ada teks yang juga salah dipahami oleh orang-orang Yahudi dan orang-orang Nasrani sehingga muncul pemahaman yang mungkin juga salah. Tujuan pertanyaan ini bukan untuk agar punya argumen untuk menyerang, bukan, tapi untuk karena juga gak sedikit orang-orang yang ketika kita ngumpul sama Muslim, mereka menyudutkan orang-orang Yahudi dan Nasrani, sehingga saya bisa kontra argumen untuk itu. Mungkin itu, terima kasih.
Pertanyaannya ditujukan kepada pendeta, betul, Mas?
Pendeta dan rabi.
Oke. Pendeta dulu mungkin.
Baik, terima kasih untuk pertanyaan yang diberikan. Yang pertama, ya, dalam Perjanjian Lama, Old Testament, itu beberapa hal di Taurat, ada hal-hal, aturan-aturan tertentu yang menyangkut tentang perempuan. Tapi di dalam Injil itu sudah ada pembaharuan sebenarnya, bahwa itu Paulus katakan bahwa tidak ada lagi orang Yahudi, orang yang bersunat, tidak bersunat, dan seterusnya. Itu aturan-aturan yang tidak ada batasan, tapi juga ada konteks tertentu yang dikatakan bahwa perempuan hanya berdiam diri. Itu juga dalam konteks surat-surat Paulus itu diinterpretasi juga salah, karena Injil mengatakan karena Alkitab mengatakan demikian, perempuan lebih baik tidak usah banyak bicara. Kemudian juga masalah style, rambut tidak boleh, ya, aturan-aturannya terlalu banyak terhadap perempuan. Tetapi kemudian dalam perkembangan yang ada, itu bukan masalah stylenya, tetapi ini lebih kepada karakter, ya, karakter, bukan masalah style lahiriah, tetapi karakter atau kepribadian itu yang sebenarnya dituntut menjadi pribadi yang baik, menjadi pribadi yang lebih memberkati. Kalau sebagai pemimpin, sebagai istri, itu bukan jadi bukan ngomongin orang, tapi bagaimana mendidik anak dengan baik, dan banyak nilai-nilai etik yang lebih menjadi fokus dalam Perjanjian Baru, Injil. Dan di situ kita juga melihat apresiasi yang dilakukan oleh Yesus ketika anaknya sakit. Ada satu perempuan Kanaan yang datang, anaknya sakit. Para murid-murid yang pada laki-laki kan mengusir, ya, mengusir, tidak boleh. Itu karena dia terus berteriak supaya bagaimana bisa menolong. Yesus bisa menolong anaknya yang sakit, tetapi orang-orang yang laki-laki melarangnya, tapi Yesus mengundang dia. Artinya bahwa ada space yang begitu luar biasa yang diberikan kepada perempuan. Nah, saya terima kasih sekali untuk pertanyaan ini. Yang menjadi salah adalah interpretasi, konsep pemahaman, dalam konteks mana. Nah, itu yang sering menjadi polemik, bahwa kita sering menafsirkan dalam konteksnya yang tidak relevan lagi dengan konteksnya kita sekarang. Kita hidup di era mana dulu, itu. Nah, itu transformasi ini datang daripada diri kita, orang-orang yang intelektual, yang punya pemahaman yang sudah dibaharui, ditransformasi melalui edukasi, melalui pendidikan itu menolong kita untuk bisa memahami. Tapi dalam konteks Alkitab, sebagai leader kita juga tertantang, pertanyaan-pertanyaan itu muncul. Ya, ada diskriminasi. Kenapa ada perbedaan diskriminasi terhadap laki-laki dan perempuan? Kenapa perempuan selalu jadi nomor 2? Nah, dan kita menjelaskan sebenarnya bukan itu, konteksnya mana dulu. Kita tahu bahwa zaman situasi yang ada juga ini kan sistem patriarkal. Nah, sampai sekarang juga ada konteks-konteks ini yang terus berkembang juga dalam kehidupan kita sampai saat ini, kita memahami itu. Jadi bagi kami bahwa Injil dari konsep Christianity, bahwa Injil ini membawa transformasi, mengubah mindset orang. Bagaimana kasih itu lebih tulus, bagaimana menerima orang lain seperti diri kita sendiri, bagaimana menghargai keberbedaan yang ada. Dan ini yang menjadi konteks utama, dan peran dari para pemimpin adalah kita menjelaskan yang interpretasi yang salah menjadi sesuatu yang benar, untuk menjadi mengubah mindset yang salah dari setiap orang, supaya setiap orang dilibatkan atau dihargai. Jadi bagi kami, dan ini diskusi yang sangat sangat serius, dan sampai sekarang ini masih terus. Karena itu mulai feminis muncul dan seterusnya, hal-hal seperti itu ditantang atau mencari jalan solusinya. Dan ini kembali kita masing-masing. Terima kasih Anda seorang yang begitu progresif, bisa melihat situasi, dan tadi mulai dari Al-Quran bahwa interpretasi yang salah, dan begitu juga di dalam Injil selalu ada pemahaman yang salah untuk kita menafsirkan dalam konteks yang Baby menciptakan damai itu. Terima kasih.
Terima kasih Reverend Juliana. Dan tadi pertanyaannya ditujukan oleh Masnya untuk Reverend dan juga Rabbi. So Rabbi, one of our participants is also asking, are there any texts in the Torah that are misunderstood, especially verses related to women? The verses related to women. Yes, sure.
Okay, let's go back to the beginning. You may have seen we have so much in common, but we don't always have language in common. And we go back to our sacred writings that came from ancient languages. It is possible that the Arabic of the Quran is not identical to the Arabic, let's say, of Egypt. Exactly the same or a little different? A little different. Most of my Christian friends, read the Bible in English, not in Greek. True? Most of the people that I know who are not Jewish read the Hebrew Bible, the Torah, Tanakh, Ketuvim, in English, not in Hebrew. True? So we aren't even reading exactly what the text is. We are believing a translator. And we know, my teacher, Rabbi Bill Cutter, taught us all long ago, this might not be popular, can I do it? Take this one home too. All translation is interpretation. Try it. All translation is interpretation. Okay. In Spanish, how do we say goodbye? Adios. Remember Dora the Explorer? Adios, amigos! But adios means goodbye, but it also means adios. What is Dios? Yes. And what is to? Adios means go with God. Yes? So how shall we translate it? Bye-bye or go with God? This one wasn't a joke. Masalama. But all translation is interpretation. Adios is go with God. That's true. Adios is bye. That's true. Or there's the Terminator. Adios, baby. Okay. Now, when we read the Torah carefully, it does not say what the King James Bible says. When we read the Torah carefully, it doesn't say what most people think. When we read Genesis 2 carefully, is there a mention, I'm sorry, do we find the words original sin in Genesis 2? No. That phrase does not exist in the Bible. Is the concept and context of original sin right out of Genesis 2? Yes. Are the words there? No. And who gets blamed for this fruit? By the way, what fruit is it? What do most people think it is? Most people think it's apples. They don't think it's a mangosteen. They think it's an apple. Why do they think it's an apple? Because some old dead artist in the Renaissance drew a picture of Adam and Eve and an apple. Because they're apples in Europe. Those colonizers are at it again. It ain't in the Bible. It's not in the Bible. It does not say apple. It does not say original sin. And, wait, I'm going to get angry. Who is always blamed for this original sin that's not even written down? Who's blamed?
Women.
Women. Right. So, was it Eve's fault?
No.
So apparently, if you read chapter 2 very carefully, it seems, according to the Torah, God says to Adam, don't eat from those trees. It's like saying to a kid, here's a beautiful chocolate cake on the table, don't taste it. Maybe God wanted the people to learn. Okay, God says don't eat from the tree. Adam says to Eve, now listen, Eve, honey, don't eat from the tree and also don't touch it. Did something change?
Yes.
Eve is hanging out with the tree and along comes the
Serpent.
And the serpent says, oh, you can touch it and you'll be fine. Oh, it looks like she's okay. So then the serpent goes like, oh, you can touch it and you can eat it too. Try it. Oh, okay. You know what? Who changed the words? Whose fault was it? Who misled Eve in the first place? Yes! And then God comes along after they cover themselves up with fig leaves. By the way, a lot of rabbis think it was a fig tree, because where else do you get the fig leaves from? Okay, so they cover themselves up with fig leaves. God knows the answer, according to the rabbis, but asks Adam and Eve so that they have a chance to come clean. Hey, Why did you do that? What happened? So what does Adam say? Adam goes, it's her fault. It's that woman you gave me. So what does the woman say? The woman goes like, it's the snake's fault. He told me to. This is not a promising beginning in the Bible. It's misunderstood. And over the course of the centuries, it lays the blame for all sin, all responsibility, all disobedience out of a particular kind of interpretive tradition, squarely on the shoulders of the woman. I will say, however, that Judaism doesn't subscribe to the idea of original sin, and also the concepts of intimacy that are sometimes considered negative because of this part of the Bible in some Christian communities is not shared by Judaism. Judaism thinks that appropriate, healthy intimacy is also a gift from God.
Thank you, Rabbi Cheryl. I think it's not only a public discussion, but we're having sit-down comedy, because everyone is laughing. You're talented, I can say. All right, everyone, I think we reached the end of our discussion. And I would like to thank everyone again for coming. And if you would like to ask some questions, more questions, you can ask our beautiful speakers after. But I think we need to end this now because it's Ashar, and I think everyone is, some of you guys are going to pray. So thank you, Rabbi Cheryl, Reverend Juliana, and also Ustazah Nur Hayati for sparing your time with us, sharing, and thank you. I think we should take a picture before we close the session with Ibu Rosita as well and Bapak Asep.
Lagi 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Terima kasih.